So Lindsay and Halstead,
yeah,
now live together. Which,
yep, all super domesticated.
Super domesticated.
Yeah.
Are we going to get to see more of what their dynamic at home is like? Because sometimes when you work with someone and you live with someone,
yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot going on. I think they're playing with some stuff right now as far as Lindsay's dad is stirring up a whole bunch of crap, and he comes into the scene for a minute, and she's got to lean on Halstead, and her mom comes back, and so it's really like the fans are going to get to see their relationship through the lens of how to deal with family, which with the holidays coming up, it actually kind of makes sense. Yeah, it's good timing. But yeah, it should be fun for the fans. The writers and producers, they're really good at sprinkling in just enough of that relationship dynamic stuff to kind of balance out, the heaviness of the cases, that we see week in and week out on the show. So that'll be fun. And I'm trying to think if there's any really good, juicy Linstead stuff coming up. I think Sophia's character, Lindsay, I think she's going through a time right now where she's questioning whether or not she wants to stay in intelligence. She's having bigger aspirations, and we've seen this with the character before. So I think that'll continue for a minute. We'll see where that goes for the two characters. Yeah, super domesticated. Hanging pictures on the wall. Yeah.
So Chicago PD, something I respect about the show, it tackles a lot of real life issues, issues that we see in the headlines. And recently, you guys did police shootings and the Black Lives Matter movement. How does it feel to be in the city where that is the focal point? The Black Lives Matter movement, Chicago has been the focal point of it. And do you feel certain kind of extra pressure to address both sides?
Yeah, we definitely have to walk the line. We're making a cop show. And we want to portray these characters and the police force in Chicago in a way that that demonstrates their heroism. That they put their lives on the line every day. They deserve our respect. That doesn't mean there aren't real issues with with violence, and so any chance we get to do an episode where we are showing that both sides care, showing that both sides, have work to do, and that it's really about what it comes down to is the individual. It's not about this side's right or this side's wrong or this side's wrong and this side's right. It doesn't matter. What it comes down to is individuals that have good intentions. As long as we keep telling the stories and we keep showing the human side, the human component, and the way people care and the way people are trying to make changes, then I think we're doing a good job.
I heard you had a real-life Chicago PD hero moment with your Chicago.
Yes, co-star? I did. That's so funny that you heard about that. So yes, I totally had a true hero of Chicago, first responder moment. Me and Nick Gelfus and I. He plays my brother. He plays Will Halstead on Med. We were just going to dinner one night and walk out of my building and walk down the street, and we hear terrible screeching tires, and we turn around to see two cars. One's going through an intersection, and there's no stop sign here. There's a bunch of construction going on, and this car's coming here, and they basically T-bone each other, and this car gets knocked into a massive ditch because they're digging a hole where they're putting a new building, and the car goes in and rolls on its side, and it was 10 feet deep, and we were thinking this is horrible, and he goes, what should we do? And I go, run. And so we ran, and we hopped in the ditch, and we're pulling the lady out, and the car is on its side, so we're pulling her out the passenger window, and I'm calling 911, and he's helping her get out of the car, and the second we get her out of the car, she's fine, she's okay, shaken up, very shaken up, and she looks at him, and she goes, you're that doctor. And then I go, ma'am, don't worry, fire and ambulance are on the way. Are you okay? And she goes, ah! And it was, I mean, it was, she recognized both of us. It was hilarious. And like, we're saving her life, pulling her out of a car. I mean, you can't write this stuff.